do a little montage for you.
Welcome back. It's music night tonight on the Mountain Views program because it's the Mountain Views program. And this is what we do, and we are fortunate over time as the network grows and we meet amazing people from all over the world who have come through our part of the Western United States to play live music. And this evening is a first visit from a crew that is a nice connection back to our friends Earth Cry, who were here just a few months ago. And isn't that way the way that it goes? Networking, friendship, and music. And this evening, for the first time, and hopefully not the last, I'm pleased to welcome to the program Adwela and the Uprising and its leader, Adwela Dawes. How are you, friend?
Good, brother. How are you?
Good. Welcome.
Respect, man.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for being nice to my dog. He's going to shed all over you.
What is the man, yo? It's all good.
Yeah, he's all right. He likes to make sure.
But it comes with some love, man. My first friend, second friend I made in Utah. You first and buddy second friend. Yeah.
Well, we're kind of twin halves of one unit.
Your spirit animal, right?
Welcome to Utah.
Thank you, brother.
And it's great to have you here. You guys made a very long trip. I gotta do this credit where credit is due thing, because you guys drove pretty much straight through.
Yeah, we got the tour of the most extensive part of the United States, I guess. We came up through Pennsylvania and then Ohio and Illinois and Iowa and Nebraska and Wyoming.
A lot of Interstate 80.
I found out the whole state of Wyoming does not have service. I was detached from we were all detached from the world, so it was like one of those experiences where you had to, like, you know, test your intestinal fortitude and your will as a musician and as a person to persevere through it all and then be cut off from the things you're accustomed to.
Yeah, of course.
It carried the building for me, you know what I mean? I took it as a challenge, you know what I mean? So,
the indicator of a positive attitude.
Try to, man. Try to make the best out of things.
Make lemonade,
of
for
course.
sure, for sure. So we talked a little bit before we came on air. We were setting up and sound checking, and you talked a little bit about your background and being an athlete and having that version of a life, and now you're doing this music thing. Tell folks a little bit about your background and what drives you in music.
Then the same thing that drives me in life, really, and it's just my foundation. I was an athlete most of my life. Football, played American football. You don't have to say that for the people abroad. Jamaicans, football is just soccer. You know, in the rest of the world anyway.
Right.
We're the slow ones over here. So anyway, yeah, played American football most of my life. Played collegiately, played some indoor ball. Got a couple looks at the league or whatever. Just didn't pan out for whatever reason. And I took the I guess the core values and life lessons from that game, and just kind of transferred it to everything I do in life. I don't want to say so much music, but just everything that I do kind of transcends that, and it has helped me with my relationships with people, my business relationships, my dealings, especially in the music business. You know, as much perseverance as you need to make any headway in this business.
Truly.
It was, you know, I guess, you know, the mental toughness, the discipline, the things like that, all those characteristics and the
leadership,
attention to detail, leadership, being able to listen, being able to follow, being able to, you know, to do things you don't want to do in order for the greater good of what's going on and the betterment of everyone. It's just, I don't know, the sacrifice is what we call it, the Cliff Notes word for it.
Of course.
So yeah, I don't know.
And you have a crew that you're responsible for. Of course, a shared responsibility with everybody on the road.
Yeah, very thankful for them. I think, as of late, we have a responsibility to each other. And that's what I try to cultivate, not so much of a business thing. I've been saying it before, and I said it to them and everyone who's played music around me before, or had any kind of dealings with me, try to cultivate a family atmosphere. Because you'll do things for people you love.
Right.
That you don't do for people that you just, you know, if it becomes strictly a, oh, I'm just going to show up for work type thing, you know, the monotony comes in.
And then it's over. Sure,
yes,
and it's hard. It's hard being on the road. It's hard playing shows and playing, of course, you get the magic.
Most of this is hard except for when the music starts.
Yeah.
But it's just like sports. It's like, okay, what do you put into it when no one's looking? The rehearsals, the business side of it, getting people together, the scheduling, dealing with people and different personalities, how to mesh, the logistics of it all. All that stuff comes in for what? For 2-3 hours of beautiful music to us. But that touches people. Yeah. So to me, it's worth it.
No question.
So
it's worth it to us.
So we do what we do, I guess, you know?
Absolutely. So talk a little bit, if you would, about this music, about your music. You had mentioned that you are from a Jamaican family. You have some Jamaican folks in the band, in the band family. Talk about your inspiration for this music in particular. Obviously, in 2018, there's a million genres, and people are taking little bits of different genres. And you guys are playing what feels in a beautiful way to be kind of an homage to traditional reggae.
Well, to me, Yeah, I hit it on the head with the paying homage to the founding fathers, if you will, of the music and the culture as well. But also, like, reggae music transcends all cultural barriers, all language barriers, all logistical barriers. Obviously, we're here.
Yes.
It'll take you wherever you want it to go. And with the message being positive, being upright, and trying to live in accordance to the music, not just doing those things, but trying to live. That's the hard part, honestly. See, anyone can talk the talk, but it's the other thing, having yourself held to that responsibility to I guess, talk the talk and walk the walk as well, and actually bring that message to people and try to affect people positively. To me, when I see the world and the state it's in and the condition it's in, with people being, especially in this country, to where we're so fragile right now, as people, I just want to take that and put it to the side and just be good to one another. Let's make this simplistic. It's not as difficult as people try to make it. It's not hard to be good to one another. It takes no talent to do that.
That's right. You don't need to know what to do.
Exactly. It's not hard to, and the things, I don't have to know you to do good by you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very true.
I have to put effort to do wrong by you. It takes nothing to just, you know, even if something as small as walking down the street and speaking to someone, give someone a smile.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a powerful thing.
Do a random good deed. You know, I tried to, and you know, I try my best. You know, I'm human as well. You know, I have my moments.
Of course.
I have my athletic moments to where so I go back to you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
I gotta grab bare teeth sometimes, but you know, it's to me, it's like, okay, here's the journey in this, moving forward from that and holding myself accountable and looking myself in the mirror and say, you know what? Yes, that's who you were. That's who you were. I guess bred to be. Yeah. But now you're on the other side of that, and you deal with people in real life. Okay. And not everyone's an athlete, no, and not everyone's an elite athlete or trying to be one, so you can't have that same mentality with everyone, and that's the process I've come to terms with, and I've fought it for so long, but it's just, you know, it's been a growth thing, and I'm happy with the growth. The music has helped me grow, and it's helped other people grow as well.
Absolutely. So. Let's take a quick break. I want to talk a little bit about the future of the group and goals and all that cool stuff. So. More with Adwela Dawes of Adwela and the Uprising right after this here on Park City Television. Welcome back. We are talking music, reggae, philosophy, life on the road, and more with the leader of Adwela and the Uprising, Adwela Dawes. Welcome back.
As always, appreciate it, man. Love that, man.
So, Rocky and I were talking a little bit during sound check about sort of a factor that I'm curious, and you had said something earlier that kind of goes along with it, that you haven't had a bad reception, you haven't had a bad experience or experiences while out on the road, and the thing that Rocky and I were talking about is the fact that reggae is maybe the most positive, uplifting, life-affirming genre of music that there is, and as I make that statement and then just stop and think, yeah, is that really true? It's like, yep, that's it. That's totally true.
It is. The good thing for that is that's what brings people in, but if you're poetic enough, I guess, with your messaging in the music, you can also bring that militant side.
Absolutely.
Out and address those things that people don't want to normally address, especially in today's society, and that's what is important to me in this time right now. Just like I said, we were talking before about the delicate state of affairs in the world. Not everybody wants to talk about it. We try to talk about it. They say all the time, you go in the bar, you will go anywhere else and don't talk about religion, don't talk about politics.
Right.
Don't talk about social issues going on. That's how you divide people. You can divide people if you're concise and your message is in the positive and you're on the side of what's upright and what is good. And for, you know, the people who, I just try to speak for those who don't have a voice. A lot of people aren't heard. A lot of people aren't, you know, they're not taken really seriously. You know what I mean?
And of course, you're out there, you're connecting with people, and you're somebody who has shown the courage to stand up in front. It's not that easy to do. A lot of people think, oh, well, everybody wants to do that, and some people just, you know, don't, or they're doing other things or whatever. But it's not easy to get up there, and especially for a show, for an entire show, it's one thing to, you know, be here for an hour and we're kind of hanging out a little bit, but when you're in a club and people are expecting you to do that full night of entertainment, that takes a real person.
It does, and it takes a special skill set with the people around me, the musicians around me as well,
for sure, to
be able to entertain while still bringing that seriousness as well. It's a balance we have, you know, because you can be too serious and you can come off too hard, and you can of course turn people off. People are so easily turned off in this day and age. So I don't know. I think we found our niche right about now, we're just catching some traction. I don't know when it's going to hit its peak, but it'll keep going until it reaches the rightful place. So I'm happy with the movements thus far and be able to get out there and you know, bring up a positive message to people while also seeing how people are living. And that gives you more material to write about and to speak for other people. You know, and that's why I love to. That's the best part of actually going out and touring for me, is to see people from different walks of life,
sure,
and see how the music is similar for all people, but people still live differently.
Right.
So it's I don't know.
Right. Yeah, and that is an interesting contrast. I'm sure there are times when you have people approach you and speak warmly and reverentially about your music, and you go, you know, I'm not sure that I would have thought that person would be a fan of this band, and yet it takes all kinds, and you never know who your music connects with.
Of course. I mean, being someone with the background I have, you become a cliche machine, and the old adage that you never know who's watching.
Right.
So it goes back to, again, what I said before, when you walk the walk with the talk, and you keep yourself where you don't have to put the face on, because the face is the face that you wear all day, every day. Yeah. You can be that person for those people when the time arises. You know, it comes up, and you know, you can be ready for those moments to where, wow, I really impacted somebody, or I didn't know he was watching it. I didn't think they were paying attention.
Right.
I didn't know you were going to call my phone with something today.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know I would be able to connect with somebody, you know, like you halfway across the country.
Right.
You know, just by seeing some brethren of mine making movements, and we're following in those footsteps, doing, you know, similar missions, you know,
Absolutely.
with similar plights and similar things against us, and we're able to, you know, connect and spread it and make it bigger as a whole, just for, you know, as for reggae music and for musicians and for the culture as well. So.
No question about it. Mission accomplished. So you guys are out on tour. You're here in Salt Lake City with us tonight. Thank you so much for that. Where are you guys going after this, and what are your plans into the rest of the summer?
We'll be in South Dakota tomorrow night, and then we'll be in Santa Fe, New Mexico on Thursday,
Nice.
be in San Angelo, Texas on Friday, be in Lubbock on Saturday, and we'll come home, have a couple more welcome home type things back home, and then we'll head to Florida twice, and we have a big June planned, actually.
Nice.
Be in Florida twice. We're actually opening for Inner Circle. They're celebrating their 50th anniversary tour this year. So we'll be down in Sebastian, Florida doing that. And then we'll get to play Miami, Florida, Wynwood Yard.
Nice.
Some Ocean City stuff in Maryland, Secrets, PA, doing some, you know, just doing some East Coast movements. Been in Vermont earlier this year as well. We've been around. Actually, it's our second West Coast trip this year. We actually went coast to coast, went to Cali and back. Hit some spots in between before. So, you know, just making movements. Actually, we'll be in the United Kingdom September 1st for the first time. So we'll take this out of the country for the first time, and I'm very excited about that as well.
Fantastic. I'm sure there will be a very warm reception there.
That's what they say, so I'm looking forward to it. I hope it's true.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I have some old friends who are Jamaican folks that had come through London, and my dear friend's parents came through London, and she loves to go visit and always talks about the culture there. So I'm sure it'll be a fantastic visit, and lots of growth and new meetings of amazing people.
I really hope so. I appreciate the forecasting of that, the foreshadowing. Yeah.
For sure. I guess the last thing we should do is social media. Tell everybody how to catch up with you guys and follow along and all the spots.
Yeah, AdwelaandtheUprising.com, ADWELAANDTHE, Uprising.com. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. You can also pick our album up, our debut album, The Road Less Traveled, up on all social media platforms, all download platforms, Pandora, Spotify. Got a big video for our video, One Planet Warrior, on reggaeville.com. You can basically just put us in a search engine anywhere and type in ADWELA, Adwela, and all that stuff will come up. So appreciate the love, and hopefully
Absolutely.
We'll be back
Thank
soon.
you so much for being here.
Thank you,
It's
brother.
a pleasure to meet you, and
Respect,
of course,
man.
it's amazing to hear the music, and lots more to come in the second half of the show.
Cool, blessings. Look forward to it.
All right then. Adwela and the Uprising, lots more right here on Park City Television. Don't go anywhere, because I love you.